You know, if food was as cheap and stuff was as cheap as it was in China for the people, we wouldn't need that much to be paid.
Yeah.
We wouldn't need that much to live on.
But we're used to a lot of money over here, and everything costs a lot more because of that. You know, it's really strange because I watched these videos of people showing the prices in these different countries, and many other countries, their stuff is cheap. I mean, but you know what the average wage is in China? A year per person, $5,600.
Wow.
Over here, it's like 30 or 40. So, you know, that's why our prices are a lot higher, because our people get paid a lot more. I mean, it kind of all, people like us over here in the United States, we'll look at like, oh God, them people ain't getting anything. But then they can go to the store and get bread for 20 or 30 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, it really balances it out, you know.
It does.
Anyhow, so me and James, today is Wednesday, and what's the date? It's 59 degrees again.
This is the 7th.
Today is the 7th, and it is, what time did I say it was?
It's 10 something.
11?
Oh, it's 11.
About 11 o'clock, and the reason we're getting such a late start is it's raining, and it's still drizzling a little bit here and there. But I have a job planting trees, and I got to pull the trees up out of the ground. So I said, you know what, James, we'll get the trees planted, and then maybe, just maybe, who knows, maybe it'll stop raining and dry out a little bit. Maybe it won't, but we're going to at least get these trees planted, because I need to get trees planted. And I got to pull up the stumps where the old trees were at. So this should be prime time. Hopefully they come up easy, because this ground should be soft. I mean, we've been getting rain. See, even when me and Mariah was mowing the other day, it was drizzling off and on about all day.
Yeah.
How long has it been raining, James? For a week? 4 or 5 days?
Someone said it's been over a week. I'd believe them.
I mean, y'all remember the planter? Did you see that video where I showed that I put the fig trees in that? That thing was empty.
Yeah, I saw it was sitting there almost overflowed.
And I put the fig tree in those like little buckets to hold just a little bit of water in the bottom, so you know they wouldn't dry out. And man, them things is overflowing. I mean, I made that video yesterday, I guess. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And we done been getting inundated by rain since then. And so them things are probably overflowing today. And I've got all those tomato plants I have. If they would have been outside, they'd have drowned. It'd have washed them right out of the pots.
Yeah.
So that greenhouse, I'm telling you, as humble as that little greenhouse is, it's doing wonders for those plants. Those plants look beautiful. If they's out in the elements, see, that's what happened to me last year. Did I tell you? I planted 300 or more tomato plants last year. And all I had was a table outside. And they sit out there and they literally got washed out. It's either too hot and dry or too wet. I couldn't do anything about it. But that greenhouse, the good thing about it is I can control the weather. Now, like this morning, I went in there and it's so cloudy, I don't think anything's going to go bad today. There's so much humidity in the air. So I didn't even water my plants this morning, because a lot of them still damp from yesterday's watering. But I gotta get my sunflowers in the ground. But I'm kind of afraid to plant anything in the ground. You know,
sunflowers don't do well with transplanting.
I planted my potatoes. The last row of potatoes I planted, did you see how I did it? I planted them right on top of the...
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm interested to see how that's going to do. But I went out there, and I don't know if I put it on video or not, but the whole row was in a puddle of water.
No, I didn't see that part.
They've been in a puddle of water for days. So I'm thinking, what's the potatoes going to do?
I don't know. Not many things can handle being wet that long.
So, especially, you know, they haven't even gotten anything above the surface yet. They're just laying in water.
Yeah, they might be rotted.
Anyhow, we're going to go up here and we're going to try to pull these. One of the stumps are like 10 inches. The other just a little bitty old thing. I could almost pull it out myself. But we're going to take these trees over there and get them planted. And then there was a yard over there I wasn't able to mow. So we're going to mow it. And then we're going to head back to our territory. So we'll see y'all then. Anyhow, you know Renee. You remember. Well, me and James over here planting these trees. There's the pink dogwood we put in. There's a little stump we had to pull out of that hole. Now up here, we came up here on this bank with our truck. Fortunately, we got four-wheel drive to try to pull out this stump here. That stump. And we wasn't able to pull it out. And I told the homeowner we probably wouldn't be able to. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the tree right here, right in front of that one. But James, kind enough to dig the hole. I'm sharpening my saw because the dollars all get out because I always saw stuff like this. I'll cut it later. I'll bring a bigger chainsaw.
I can't believe how much my knee is hurting.
I can't either.
Just from kneeling down.
Man, I hate to hear that.
Just kneeling down. Any pressure on it, I had to give it a minute.
I hate to hear that, man.
I was trying to be strong for the camera, you know. I didn't want to look like a crippled fat guy.
There we'll make sure that we don't put that on film so people don't know that you hurt your knee.
Well, when I get done planting it, and you see me standing up, see if I hit it well enough. Right. It was eye water and that hurt.
Oh, you hit your knee?
No, just right here in
well,
the
you must have leaned on a rock or
you know
something?
this soft part right under your kneecap? It feels like I got a knife stuck in it right now.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know what what that's from. I guess I was putting all my weight on a rock right here and it did something.
You may have hurt a nerve, pinched a nerve or something.
I don't know, but it's slowly getting better. But man, when I first tried to stand up, I could.
Well, the saw, I had it sharp. Y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed in the camera, when I first put the saw in there, it did real good. But I thought I was back far enough. I didn't think that saw would reach all the way through that. I thought it would be about the same size, but the saw was sticking out 2 inches on the other side. Hence it hit all that clay and all that mud, and it dulled it right away. So I just said, you know, we're not going to do it again right now in the rain. I'm not going to sharpen it. We're just going to go ahead and I'll cut it next time I come over, because I'm over here every week. But we got the trees planted.
You know, that's a chainsaw, not a dead switch. All it takes is 5 seconds.
I'm telling you.
If you're running that thing and you hit the dirt for 5 seconds, that chainsaw blade is dull.
I had a guy working for me, and I knew he was inexperienced. So I had to go somewhere. And so I said, well, he's going to hit the dirt. All he was doing is cutting the log.
Yeah.
Okay, all you had to do is cut the log part way, roll it over, and cut the other side. But I said, he ain't going to do that. But I left him 3 sharp chains, because I said, you know what? Maybe after the first or second time of making the chain dull, he'll realize what he's doing. And by the time he gets to that 4th chain, because I left him 3, I left him a sharp one on the chain, and I left him 3 more. I said maybe by the time he gets to that last chain, he'll realize what he's doing, and he'll be able to get the work done by the time I get back. I came back, and he had done a couple of saws in the log. He didn't get the work nowhere near done, man. He's like sitting there twiddling his thumbs the whole time, because I got back and all 4 chains were bad dull. So dull, you put them in a log and they would smoke. And I said, man, remember what I told you? I said, do not hit dirt. I said, look, you hit dirt both times you were trying to cut that log. Oh, yeah. I was wondering what was going on. I said, I told you can't hit dirt with a chainsaw, man. Boy, I tell you, I pity him. He wasn't right. Okay, it's 2:42. Me and James has done 2 yards. Of course, we planted those trees. And I think it just now quit raining. While I was mowing this particular yard that I just got through with, and it don't look too bad, I'll show it to y'all. This yard we just got through with. And I got to say, I think we mowed most of it in the rain, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not pouring, but, you know, it's sprinkling on us. Because we just counted up, I still had 13 that I was supposed to get done today. Not going to happen. But while I was mowing this, my mower started cutting up. I mean, the 72 Ferris started cutting out. And so the first thing I do when that happens is I check the spark plugs. And I had James come over and look at it too, and we both noticed there was a spark plug that wasn't hanging on tight. So we fixed that. And then, just for a precautionary, I took the gas line off and I drained it in case there was water in the gas. So those 2 things, and after that, the mower's running fine again. And boy, I wish the weather was nicer, but it is 2:44 and it's 57 degrees, so it's quite chilly. Unfortunately, I'm damp, and I just told James I hope we can get at least 1, 2, 3, 4 more done. If we can get 4 more done, I can do 6 or 7 tomorrow on my own. Hey, and maybe when Arista gets in, maybe I can pick you up and you can go help me mow them 2 big ones.
What, today?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, if you want.
You know, I told you Judy Effler and Jerry.
Yeah.
Those 2 big ones. I mean, it would take me forever to mow those by myself.
Yeah,
I've done it before.
You definitely need 2 mowers on those yards.
It takes me an hour and a half to mow Judy's by myself. And Jerry's, well, you know, his is a pain anyhow because of that steep bank. And you gotta use the right stander on part of it. You have to. Could you imagine that 72 being back there in that backyard of his?
No, that would be very sketchy.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This next yard is wet. I'm going to let y'all watch us mow it. If it looks too nasty, I just won't record it. Or I just won't put it on the movie. Right? We don't want people to see our bad work.
Yeah.